Hello everyone, back to into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the weekend into the start of next week. So setting the 5-day forecast up, there is a risk that we might get a little bit of snow as we go into the weekend and the start of next week. The risk is still on, but it's very uncertain to pin down, very hard to pin down this one. And it looks so low pressure is really starting to develop as we go into Monday, and that's going to complicate the issue really on where we get the snow. It's going to be on the northern and western side of that low pressure. Anyway, before I get on video, I just want to mention the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my weather videos at GazWeatherVids.com. Please pay those videos, you'll be supporting GazWeatherVids.com by doing that. So we're going to start off with the GFS model for Sunday, the 10th of February. So we've got the high pressure up over Scandinavia, the low pressure in the Atlantic coming up against that high pressure and stalling. As we run through then into Monday the 11th of February, we're going to find that low pressure becomes a major feature across England and Wales. It's going to be on the northern and western side of that low pressure that we get the risk of the snow. The risk will be less to the southern and eastern side of that low pressure. But it's a major system now and will be producing a lot of precipitation, I think. So certainly for northern parts of the country, central southern Scotland, down into northern England, down in towards North Wales, there is a risk of some really quite significant snow with that. But it's heavy rain more likely to the south and the southeast. But obviously this is a little way off, and this is subject to quite a bit of change. Now, as we move through to Tuesday the 12th of February, that low pressure is still there across England and Wales. Again, a risk of snow will be to the north of that low pressure, really through northern England, central southern Scotland. That's where we're on the cold side of the low pressure. We've probably got a weather front wrapped around that going down in towards North Wales and the Midlands perhaps as well, giving the risk of some snow. But for southern and southeastern parts of the country, again, I think the risk would be more of rain. And then that low pressure clears away as we move through into Wednesday, and got the low pressure then starting to head in from the Atlantic. It's still maintaining the block though up over Scandinavia, so this low pressure here could well dive south and east again underneath that low pressure, and it could maintain cold conditions beyond the middle of next week. If we have a look at the ECMWF, we can see again we've got high pressure up over Scandinavia on Sunday with the low pressure coming in from the Atlantic. The stall is taking place across the country. I think northern and western areas at risk of snow on Sunday, if anywhere gets some. But as we go beyond that into Monday, that's become a major area of low pressure again across southern England. This is more south with the low pressure though on Monday than the GFS. So the ECM will probably be bringing the risk of heavy snow to northern England in towards northeast England, Lincolnshire perhaps down in towards the Midlands and Wales, because this low pressure is more tightly defined, and as I say, it's further south as well. But to the south and the east again, the risk will probably be more towards rain. That low pressure then starts to slip away to the southeast as we move into Tuesday, and we bring in a proper east and northeasterly wind there across the country. So whereas the GFS maintains that low pressure over the top of the country, or over the top of England and Wales anyway, through Tuesday, the ECMWF wants to start to take it away to the southeast and bring in this proper east to northeasterly wind. That would be a very cold wind as well, and it would be probably feeding in snow to eastern parts of the country. We're still maintaining that northeasterly wind as we go into Wednesday. Again, the ridge of high pressure is up to the north and the northwest, but we bring down this northeasterly wind across the country. So that's a really cold run, I think, from the ECMWF, and it's probably more snowy as well, certainly for central parts of England than the GFS. Finally, having a look at the GEM and see what the GEM wants to show us. And let's go into Sunday the 10th again. We've got the high pressure maintaining itself up over Scandinavia with the low pressure coming in from the Atlantic. But this is slightly different. It takes the low pressure away to the south and to the west. That's always the risk with stalling weather systems as they come up against that high pressure. They may stall to the west of the country and then slip away to the south and the east. So if that happens, that does obviously limit the potential for snow, and makes it more towards the west and the southwest if anywhere is likely to get that snow. But really it's not developing it as the GFS and the ECMWF tend to do. And as we go through to Tuesday the 12th, then that low pressure is setting up down in the Mediterranean, and we bring down this northeasterly wind. So the GEM, the Canadian, is definitely less sort of wintry really than the other two, the ECMWF and the GFS, because the low pressure stalls more towards the west and it slides away to the southwest as well. So we've got to just try and pin it down where that low pressure is going to stall, and then whether we get that big area of low pressure developing, churning away over the top of the country. I think that's the way we'll go with the GFS and the ECWF. I think the GEM, it's always a little bit different, the GEM, and it's running at slightly lower resolutions to the other two. So I think the ECWF and the GFS are the ones to go with at the moment. And we're going to say that there is the risk through what's Sunday into Monday and Tuesday that some places could get some fairly significant snow, and I think it's looking more likely to be central southern Scotland, northern England, parts of Wales, and possibly down into the Midlands as well. But it's a long way off, and obviously those snow areas can definitely change and is subject to change. So we're going to have to wait and see on that one as ever. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.